What is America's real debt? And who do we actually owe? Today, the United States owes more than $27 trillion. That's a gigantic number. Hard to even picture. But who holds all that debt? How does it work? And why does it keep growing? Let's break it down, step by step, in a way anyone can understand. What is the national debt? Imagine you spend more than you earn every month. To cover the gap, you use a credit card. By the end of the year, you owe the bank. That's how it works for the U.S. government. It spends more than it collects in taxes, so it borrows to cover the difference. And those borrowings pile up, year after year, until the total becomes massive. How does the U.S. borrow money? The government doesn't swipe a credit card. It issues treasury bonds. Think of a bond as an IOU. Lend me money today, I'll pay you back later. With interest. People buy them because they're safe. Banks buy them. Pension funds buy them. Foreign governments buy them. Even ordinary people buy them. When you hear about the national debt, most of it is in these bonds. Who does the U.S. owe? Two main groups. Domestic holders, about 70%. American banks, pension funds, investors, the Federal Reserve, the central bank, and even Social Security, which invests in treasuries to earn interest and pay benefits. Foreign holders, about 30%. Governments and investors abroad. The biggest are Japan and China, but also the UK, Brazil, Ireland, and others. Why do they buy? Because U.S. bonds are considered the safest place to park money, like storing cash in the world's most trusted vault. A simple comparison, think of it like a family borrowing money. Some from the neighbors, and some from their own kids' piggy banks. Part of the debt stays inside the family. Part goes outside. That's how it works for America. How big is this debt? It's now about the same size as the entire U.S. economy. Every dollar produced in 1 year is roughly matched by $1 of debt. For many experts, that's a warning sign. Because the bigger the debt, the harder it is to manage interest payments and risks. Why does the debt keep growing? 3 main reasons: overspending. The government collects taxes, but programs cost more. Defense, healthcare, Social Security, emergencies, wars, economic recessions, pandemics. In those moments, borrowing explodes. Politics, cutting taxes is popular. Increasing spending is popular. Doing both at the same time means more debt. What are the risks? Rising interest payments. Just like a credit card, the more you borrow, the more you pay in interest. 2025. The U.S. will spend almost $1 trillion just on interest. Less money for other needs. The bigger the interest bill, the less money left for schools, hospitals, and infrastructure. Inflation. If the government prints dollars to cover debt, too many dollars chase too few goods. Prices rise. Families feel the squeeze. Investor confidence. If markets ever doubt America's discipline, they'll demand higher rates to lend. That makes borrowing more expensive and could spark a crisis. Global impact. U.S. debt doesn't just affect Americans, it touches the entire world. When Japan or China hold hundreds of billions in treasuries, they depend on America paying them back. If the U.S. stumbles, the global system shakes. Currencies shift. Trade slows. Supply chains suffer. It's like the star player of a team getting injured. The whole game changes. Easy analogies. The U.S. debt is like a giant mortgage that never really gets paid off. It just keeps getting refinanced, or an invisible dog fence. You don't know the shock point till you hit it, or borrowing from your own kids' piggy banks. It works today, but you'll owe them tomorrow. Can the U.S. pay it back? Technically, yes, because America prints its own money. But printing too much creates inflation. And inflation is like a hidden tax. Your dollars buy less, so an actual default is unlikely. But the real danger is the slow pressure debt puts on the economy. What can be done? Only 3 paths exist: spend less, cut waste, control programs, collect more, raise or adjust taxes, grow faster. If the economy grows faster than the debt, the problem shrinks as a share of GDP. In reality, it will take a mix of all 3. But none are easy. Why does this matter to you? Because this isn't just about Washington. It's about your wallet. Your future high debt can mean higher prices, higher interest rates, less money for services you depend on. It affects every family. Final recap: how much? Over $27 trillion. Who's owed? Mostly Americans themselves. banks, investors, Social Security, the Federal Reserve, and about 30% to foreigners like Japan, China, and others. The risks? Soaring interest costs, less room in the budget, inflation, and reliance on market confidence. The solutions? Spend smarter, collect more, and grow the economy. The debt is like an invisible weight. You don't see it on your grocery bill, but you feel it in your daily costs. It helps in the short term, but if it keeps growing, it can strain the future. So next time someone asks, what is America's real debt and who do we owe? You'll know the answer. It's a chain of promises, connecting the government, investors, and every citizen. The real question is, how long can that chain stretch before it finally snaps?